Hey everybody, it's time for another real life superhero debut video intro. Now I've already done a real life super video debut for this costume on my Facebook real life super and action hero fan page. But I decided to redo it, one for YouTube and other social media websites because I badly want to use these two new songs. These two new songs. This is also a brand new video intro, a very new real life superhero video intro and debut for you, my female enemies out there. There will be two with the same costume. Yeah, I hate you guys so much, and I love ranting and fighting you so much. I decided to do two new brand new video intros for two brand new series of rants and challenges I have planned for you. So with that being said, anonymous rants and challenges towards you, my female enemies. So with that being said, let's get started right now. The walkout song is very appropriate for you females. Wanted man. Female worst enemies.
Cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think you'll do, and all the shit you don't do, well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. Have no regrets, yeah, outside of my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happened. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and fight for the things you know you love. To what you think is right, and you like to watch it why. So fight and die for the things you know you love. To what you think is right, and you like to watch it why. Give me all the scars, I'm a human being. Cover them with tattoos so you can't see. Knew it from the start, you had problems with me. And the things I could be, I just wish I had seen. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and
Oh my god.
Hey everybody, it's time for a brand new real life superhero video, and this time this is my third unsupportive third rant on toxic, unsupportive, two-faced parents. To see the previous two portions, which were narration, the links will be in the description box below. I've done about 6 to 7 of these, but I'll only upload 3 right now, because if I upload all, that'll be trying to get you to watch too many. So I decided to do the first 2, which were narration, and this new one with a brand new real life superhero costume. The costume you saw in the intro, this is for people who are following me on YouTube. For those of you who are following me on Facebook and other forms of social media, you have seen this costume before. This is my #1 winter and fall rock and roll baggy military khaki sweatsuit with zipper. And I have multiple variations which will be seen in future videos. You follow me on Facebook and other forms of social media, you've already seen the others, but this is a brand new one. This is my #1 favorite military winter and fall outfit. Whenever I go somewhere, whenever I patrol or go somewhere, this is this is my preferred costume to wear. So with that being said, yeah, let me make my grand entrance on camera. I'm going to continue the rest of the video by the window over there, because that's the best view I can get during the day. I like doing videos like this during the day, but the sun you see right there blocks out. The sun from the window blocks out my face and yeah, and I hate that. These videos are better done at night, but I like the daytime better. So with that being said, I'll be by the window over there. Yeah, apologize for the quality. This is the best quality I can get where I am completely visible when appearing on camera. So with that being said, let me get started right now. Yeah, like I said, one of the biggest inspirations for these 3 series of videos was something I learned from YouTube social media personality and actor and movie producer Tommy Sotomayor, who is one of the major inspirations to my new style of video making. That's rants on social and past, rants on current and social, rant on social, current, and past events, stuff on the news, and stuff that have happened in my personal life, which prior to 2018, when I officially started this new style of video making, I tried to keep my personal life and my various multimedia reviews separate, but personal life, it got so bad that I had to start speaking out on these events right here, and had to change my style of video making. So with that being said, let me get started right now. So yeah, one thing he said was in one video, when you're in a position where you have been a victim of something and you can no longer grow or learn from it, you can use it to your advantage. You can use your experience to your advantage to help someone else or a bunch of people who are going through the same thing or who could go through the same thing, and you can prevent them from making the same mistakes you did, and at least they will have a better outcome than you did. And that's what I'm going to be using my platform for, and what I'm going to be doing in this one right here. One of the biggest problems I have in real life that I've had and still have is toxic, two-faced, unsupportive parents. I am really getting tired of it. I'm really getting tired of whenever I turn on my computer, log onto the internet, or whenever I watch television, watch television and depictions, especially depictions of Afro Americans, the worst example of what I'm talking about. I'm sick of all of these negative portrayals of families, and I'm sick of seeing adults, parents, constantly ruining constantly ruining their own kids' lives, and getting away scot-free, and also number two, worse, showing no accountability for what they've done. Or if it's a situation where the kid has a problem with another, kid, or even worse, another adult, the parent, especially a teacher, the parent will constantly say he or she is on the kid's side, but they will always take the side of the adult or the enemy, the person you're facing, as if that person was your family, daughter, son, etc. And I am really getting tired of that. Then when the kid makes it and does something with himself, he'll credit his parents, especially his own mother, when his mother and father may have helped, but to keep in mind, they were also partially the reason you were in trouble, you were in this hole to begin with. The problem, whatever the problem was, even though it's solved now, it was probably their fault. It happened in the first place. And I am getting sick of it. And as kids, once we were going around like it's normal. Oh yes, kids, we would try to find something else. Try to find and do something else to get around and to avoid addressing this issue with our parents. Or we'll try to find, fight, or take the anger out on someone else. You especially see that last one, taking anger out on someone else. You especially see that with less privileged people and people who live in poverty, even though it's the parent is someone else's who is responsible for your living conditions and why you live in poverty. And I'm sick of us kids walking around like that's normal. And for some reason, we never in any ways retaliate. And the biggest reason we never retaliate is fear of consequences. And this is why I never retaliated in the past, and that was fear of consequences. And I'm telling you right now, if any parent ever tries to sabotage your goals, sabotage and destroy your future, or tries to tell you when or where you can do something, or that you can't do anything, always scream, always yell at them, always stand up to them, and always take the fight to them. Don't hit them or anything until they try to hit you first. And if they do try to hit you first, beat their ass. They need to learn that you just can't go putting your hands on people. You just can't go putting your hands on people for no good reason. And especially since just because you're an adult, that's not only a toxic, two-faced, unsupportive parent, that's just an overwhelming narcissist, which I am too. But at least I admit to it. Sick of parents. Yeah, then when you stand up to them, when you do stand up to them, the rare times I did stand up to them, the ultimate times I did stand up to them, they'll constantly play victim. They'll constantly play victim and even go tell another adult. They'll go tell an even older or another adult, or do something else like, how dare you talk to me like that? And I'm just really getting tired of that. So yeah, whenever they do that, always stand up to them. And if they're big enough and bad enough to hit you, always. Even though I prefer you beat them to an inch of your life. Just beat them to the point, beat and fight them to the point that it'll intimidate them and get them to back off, or just to get them off. You don't like severely concuss, which is what I want to do with most of my family at the time, for all the trouble and torment they've caused me. Yeah, don't do. Yeah, so yeah, do that because you don't want to go to jail, which is what they also like to use. See, they know they could, since they own the house you live in, they'll they'll try to cowardly throw you out of the house, or even worse, they'll call the cops on you, knowing they have that power. Talking about, once again, abusing power, just like the comic books, and just like Spider-Man said. With great power comes great responsibility. With great power comes great purpose. You get these parents, especially in the Afro-American communities. I don't see it as much in the white, Asian, Hispanic, Canadian, and European I see actual families. I see respectable mother, father, daughter, and son households. And usually when I watch shows depicting those families, I usually can enjoy the kids, but I usually side with the adults there. Whereas when you get to the Afro-American ones, it depends on the show. Sometimes I can side with the kids, and sometimes I can side with the adults. But it usually gets to the point where I can't relate to anyone. Particularly the show that comes to mind. The worst example of this is My Wife and Kids, where each person on the show has her strengths and weaknesses, but all the characters in that show are irredeemable. You got Junior, a dumb kid. Who wasn't that dumb when the show started, who got even dumber as the show went along for laughs, and his father, and who can't do anything right, and who's always up to no good. Then you got the father Kyle, constantly slapping his son in the back of the head for stupidity, and punishing him in some gruesome, sadistic, sardonic way, instead of just grounding him. He's always punishing him in some way, and the kid Junior is so incredibly stupid that he can't recognize that his father's being abusive and mistreating him. Then his father does all this. When you look at his father is a high school. I think, isn't his father in this show a high school dropout? And was pregnant with Junior, and the mother was pregnant and got the mother pregnant with Junior when he was 16. So he's not in any ways better, but yeah, he tries to act all superior. Then you got the mother, who can occasionally be a voice of reason, but she most of the time teams up with the father and becomes just as abusive, and then the ultimate negative stereotype of an Afro-American female. A much better mom than most moms depicted in situation comedies, but still. Afro-American moms depicted in situation comedies, but still. And then you got Claire, who was okay in the first season, but then in the second and following seasons, when she was replaced with the light-skinned actress, that character just became a super annoying, rebellious Afro-American teenager. And then guys are like that too, but at least with the guys and other races of women, it's more charming and exciting to watch. With them, it's just one bad stereotype after another. But yeah. So yeah, you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. What I'm getting at, what I was saying. I almost lost my train of thought again. What I was getting at was Afro-American parents compared to other races of parents. Understand that with great power comes great responsibility. With great power comes great purpose. Now with great powers comes even more abuse, comes even more tyranny. They become drunk, toxic, and just unsupportive and narcissistic since they own the house. One of the reasons Afro-Americans, we get a lot of flack for this, but half of me doesn't care. Half of me does. I do somewhat apologize for several people I've been with the next comments, but this is why Afro-Americans never had any power, and this is also one of the reasons why I never side with them on anything. And I usually, unless I really see a situation where the white person or other race, whenever they done something to an Afro-American was truly wrong, I usually always side with the white or other race. Afro-Americans do horrible things to each other. They talk about pro-black this, standing, being strong with your people, being there for one another, being there for one another. Yet when you see them, they don't fight the other race. They don't fight the other races or the actual white supremacists. All they do is fight and threaten and do horrible things to other Afro-Americans, and they usually get theirs from another. They usually get theirs from another. They usually get theirs from another race. My dad's wife and his wife, and my dad himself. But my dad's wife, she was the one punished the most. 4 to 5 years ago, they tried to tell me when and where I can get a job, and when and where I will work, and try to literally control and sabotage and destroy my own future. Yet my dad's wife has been fired, not once, not twice, not three, not even 4, but 5 times, and twice within 1 year from a computer desk job. She does what I do, and my friends do. My friends especially. Her job and career was sitting down in front of a computer, chatting with other people, and she couldn't even keep this job. And was fired twice within the same year. Once in June, and the second time in October of last year. Yet this person was telling me this woman was judging me and telling me based on my hygiene, telling me when and where I can work, and deciding I wasn't good enough because of my hair and hygiene and the way I dress. I wasn't good enough for a job. I wasn't good enough for any job. She tried to do that before the owner of the various jobs I'm looking for. The owner of the various jobs I did. She tried to decide when and where I can work before the actual owner of the job did. I ain't even met with any of my future employers. Yet she tried to decide. She who doesn't work in my career tried to decide when and where I can do this, telling me before I got a job, and I had to stop. I had to stay away from it. Hope they forget about this, because I couldn't just beat them up for it, or go talk in the trash, or go check them for this. But they tried to get me involved in various programs on grooming, various programs to prepare me for a job when I am 30 years old and I can apply and do whatever I please. So that's what I'm telling you to stand up. Stand up to, and it's when they're doing it. First off, continue to listen to and obey your parents. And if you have no problems with your parents, if you have a respectable, once again, mother, father, daughter, son, household, or whoever your legal guardian is, not talking about you. I'm talking about the toxic, tyrannical, unsupportive parents. And then for the ones, this isn't my reality, but for the ones who have the arrogant, abusive parents. Yeah, I'm talking about those. I'm sick of those constantly people ruining people's lives and getting away with it. Those government single mothers, or government families who are just arrogant, who are not much themselves, but they're arrogant and tyrannical, and are usually abusive and brutal towards their own children. I saw a comment, I can't remember what video I saw, but I saw a comment about a middle-aged Afro-American bragging about being a menace, bragging about making her own kids hate her, like that's actual parenting. No, that's you being a narcissistic, arrogant, tyrannical bully who needs his or her ass kicked. So yeah, that's what I'm sick of. I'm just sick of seeing that. So yeah, once again, if you don't have any of these problems, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about those who are. I'm trying to help you so you don't go through the problems I did years back in high school, and before in junior high. Back in high school, and even most recently now, I had issues with a bunch of teachers. teachers, and other students, bullies. My dad and mom would always, constantly, whenever I would get in trouble with these people, they would always be on their side. They would always defend them while pretending and telling me they're fighting for me. They're fighting for me. But yet they will always be on the side of adults, especially with adults. No matter what, adults always stick together. And my parents especially, they would especially be on the adult side if the adult side was Afro-American. If the adult was white, they would a little bit try to fight. They would a little bit try to fight them. But if the adult was Afro-American, they would always be on their side, no matter right or wrong. But then years later, I got to hear revisionist history of how they were fighting for me. When you go back then, they did the exact opposite. One of the biggest examples was I had a situation with a teacher. I've mentioned this multiple times, but I had a situation with my physical science teacher. Yeah, I was on a technology program, so I was in a regular class with two teachers, one head teacher and an assistant teacher to make sure people like me keep up in the class. Yeah, the assistant teacher was one of the worst assistant teachers I've ever had. Was one of the most arrogant, tyrannical, and one of the worst assistant teachers I've ever had. Anyway, I did a bunch of assignments, and I graded them and gave them to the head teacher. I did them and gave them to the head teacher, and she graded them. I didn't grade anything. She graded them, and she was supposed to give them to the assistant teacher. She didn't give them to the assistant teacher. She gave them back to me. And since the assistant teacher never got them, she gave me zeros for a bunch of assignments. And so me, who had a high B in the class. Now this part was my fault. The high B dropped a little because I kept messing up on a couple of tests. But you don't go from a high B to like an F, it was like a 59, 58, something like that. 59, 58, something. You don't go down that far. Now I managed to do a bunch of makeup work to at least get a high C. And before I made it up and got it back to the high C, my dad would constantly be on me. He would constantly blame me. He refused to accept that an Afro-American teacher could do wrong. The teacher messed up the grades. The teacher messed up the grades, and I ended up paying for it. But my dad didn't want to hear that. He kept bringing on me. He kept getting on me. He kept blaming me for the bad grade. Now I did the makeup work and got it up. Then I got screwed again. Oh, actually, before getting screwed again, I got some retribution. I had a big time wrestling match. Coming up, and the teacher, who is also cool with various coaches, usually like to come to the various matches and sporting events. I didn't think at the time, I didn't admit this, but at the time I didn't think I was gonna win this big time wrestling match. So in retaliation for the teacher messing up the grades and just being a tyrannical a-hole, I got revenge by when she came to the match, by telling her that I wasn't going to be wrestling that night. And actually, teacher, but coming into the thing, I didn't think I was going to be wrestling that night because there wasn't anyone in my weight class. But I instead bumped up to another weight class to wrestle someone. And much to my surprise, not my first win in wrestling, but my first actual pin. I usually won on points or from someone not being there. But this was the first pin I had, and I didn't think I was going to win. And I sure as hell the next day didn't want to hear her insults. So I lied and told her to go home. I'm not wrestling, but let her know I did wrestle, and I won. But my revenge and victory will be short-lived because I would get screwed again. There was a group project which was supposed to be just extra credit. The group project, me and the other people, we did poorly on the project. And this project, This project took me back down to like a 67 or something, but I managed to ace the final to at least get a D. So at least the good news is, passed the class. Bad news is, ruined my chances of honor roll and got screwed twice. All because my parents, all because of that teacher. And number two, parents refuse to believe that an Afro-American can do wrong. But yet, if it hadn't been a white person, they would have been in their face. And the white people in high school did more to help me than the Afro-Americans ever did. So yeah, and then here's another thing. If your parents have ruined or destroyed, there was another horrible 2018-19 incident that I only talk about this with a couple of people, but it was a horrible traumatic 2018 and 19 incident that still affects me today. I still have PTSD from this right here. If they do anything this bad or all the other bad stuff I just mentioned, disassociate yourself with your parents and only hang out with them when you want or need something. Work, talks, and fights and shopping and other stuff only. That's how it is with me. Also, sick of seeing kids at ball games, parties, and other activities that are not work or anything important. With these people who have ruined your life. I have a no fun zone with my parents unless I set up the event or I agree to event myself, and I usually always say no. Say no. So that's what you should do if you have toxic, unsupportive, arrogant, tyrannical parents. This is a topic that I badly had to rant on. I apologize to anyone if this isn't clear. As always, comment section will be closed because videos like this can get removed for can get removed by YouTube themselves from bullying, so the comments will be disabled. But if you comment on another video, I'll answer in the comment section and try to make it more clear what I'm trying to say in this. What I'm ultimately trying to say is stand up for yourself when your parent is being arrogant, toxic, unsupportive, and tyrannical. And number two, if they're being all that, disassociate themselves, remove negativity from your life. In 2014, decided I was going to remove all negativity to my life, but the worst part was I kept my parents around. You got rid of everyone else, but I kept my parents around. The worst example, since I have to spend the most day, see them the most. Remove any form of negativity from your life. And then if they're being negative, don't be afraid to, once again, going back to standing yourself, yell and scream at them, because that's the only way they learn. And then, if they actually are bold enough to arrogantly attack you, fight back, because you're going to hate yourself later if you don't. And once again, know your enemy, and know your friends. Know who is on your side. Don't be stupid. I caught it early with my mom and tried to do something about it. But then my dad, I didn't see it till almost like a decade later, after so many L's, because of him, or his actions led to so many L's. So know your friends, and know your enemies, and know who is on your side. Yeah. And like I said, this goes out to any race, but I'm especially talking about those Afro-Americans, because unfortunately I see the worst with them. The other races do a better job of showing me their best. That's why I don't talk much about the whites, Asian, Hispanics, Canadians, Europeans, and other races of people. I see the worst in Afro-Americans. Whatever it is, and anything bad, Afro-Americans are the worst example of it. You can find videos and articles all over the news of them doing terrible, stupid, cringe-worthy, or irredeemable things, and that's why I talk trash about and punish them. I'm sick of them getting away. They won on this channel. So, with that being said, I'm finished for now. You want to hear the rest of the music? I mean, before I close out of here, check the links in the description box below to see part 1 and 2. Now, you want to hear the rest Oh no, before I start, yeah, my catchphrase, as always, any of you have a problem with what I'm saying, you have a problem with what I'm saying, anyone out there have a problem with what I'm saying, firstly, once again, if this doesn't concern you, once again, I wasn't talking to you. But if anyone else still has a problem with what I'm saying, as always, feel free to come and do something about it, and I will correct what your parents or your forefathers and the white man didn't do, and I will kick your ass. They kick your ass. I will kick your ass. Call me Douglas Blair Roberts, the shoot fighter, the super beta 400, the brown skinned human, the equalizer, and I will correct what the forefathers and parents did do, and I will kick your ass and rearrange your jaw. So with that being said, you want to hear the rest of the music? Turn the video off right now.